Today we're going to take a look at this great band of leaves pattern. So it's got bands of texture and color happening here with a knit and purl relief texture that looks like little leaves, and each repeat is worked in a new color, making this great striping effect as well. So I'm going to give you a couple tips on changing colors so that you know how to make a nice, neat, even change in your band of leaves pattern. So I've got a swatch already begun, and I've got one band in each color, and I've just finished row 10 of the band of leaves pattern. Like I said, that's just knits and purls to make the relief pattern. Now I've gone ahead and cut my first color because this is quite a long stretch to be carrying up the two colors along, or three colors rather, up the side of the work. That's one option when you're switching colors, but this is a long stretch. If I was carrying up this gray down here all the way up here to switch colors, there'd be a long float here. So I'm going to cut colors in between my changes. Now I've left a tail of about 6 or 8 inches, just long enough so that you can easily weave in your end at the end when you're completed all your work. And then I'm just going to take my new yarn, my new color, and begin knitting. So the first row, which is a right side row of the band of leaves pattern, is just knit. So I'm going to leave a tail about the same length as my yellow and just begin knitting with the gray. So this row is knit all the way across. Now you can see as I'm knitting that this first stitch is kind of loose, and that's because these ends aren't anchored to anything. So something I like to do is to tie a knot with those two tails. Just tighten them just a little bit and then work just a single knot, nothing complex, and don't pull too tight, just to secure the ends temporarily. I'm not going to keep that knot in all the way to the end, or for my finished scarf. When I get to the end and it's time to weave in all my ends, then I would just undo that knot and weave them in at the back. And that's just so that you've got a little bit of tension on that first stitch and it won't pull as you're knitting along. You could end up with little loose bits at your color joins. So that's my tip for changing colors. And if you do that at the beginning of every first row of our band of leaves pattern, you'll have nice neat edges and hopefully have a piece looking nice and neat like this stripe swatch.